There will now be an opportunity for silent prayer or meditation. Thank you. May we be seated. It was with great sadness that we received the news of the untimely passing of Ms. Lindiwe Ntuli Tlaubatla. As the Mpumalanga Provincial Legislature, we have lost one of our own, our beloved sister from the place of the rising sun. We therefore send heartfelt condolences to the family and those who shared experience with Ms. Ntuli Tlaubatla. Throughout her illustrious career as an activist, a professional and a champion for women's liberation, Sis Lindiwe left an indelible mark in the hearts and minds of many for periods to come. Her legacy shall remain etched in our soul. In this regard, we salute this daughter of the soil for a life well lived. Can we please observe a moment of silence? May her soul rest in peace. Statements by members. Are there any member statements? Honorable Mlombo.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Good morning to yourselves, to the members of the Executive Council, my colleagues, the Secretary to the Legislature, and all of us in the House. Honorable Speaker, I rise on behalf of the African National Congress to deliver a statement. The ANC would like to extend its appreciation to the Department of Education and all other stakeholders in the sector for conducting well-managed writing of the 2023 National Senior Certificate Examination. Since the process of examination started, we have not heard of any irregularities that would negatively affect the process. We want to encourage the learners to take advantage of the Second Chance program. The aim of this program is to provide support to learners who have not been able to meet the requirements of the National Senior Certificate or the Extended Senior Certificate. The intention of the program is to meet the goals of the National Development Plan. Honorable Speaker, the benefits in this program is that the learners are able to meet the requirement of the National Senior Certificate, increase learner retention, increase computer skills, job opportunities, and career pathing, that learners are able to access bursary opportunities for further studies. For more information on this program and the registration of learners, learners must visit the nearest education district offices of the Department of Education, and the website is www.education.gov.za. Honorable Speaker, I thank you.
Honorable Mashilo.
Sakbona Somlom and Honorable House. Indeed, we welcome the statement by Honorable Mlombo. Equally want to appreciate our kids that they just wrote the matric this year, that they have done us proud by not in any case try to create some irregularities as it might happen elsewhere. We equally welcome the program that we have just developed to assist our matriculants that will take their education forward. after the result have been announced. Want to appreciate the comment and the congratulatory remarks by the Honorable Chief Whip. Thank you very much.
Honorable Masia.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I rise on behalf of the African National Congress to render a statement to encourage citizens to participate and make additional and comment on the recent released white paper on citizenship and immigration and refugee protection. Honorable Speaker, it is necessary that we completely overhaul our migration system in South Africa because majority of foreign nationals are non-compliant to their visa or permit condition. Those who are here on refugee status are conducting spaza shop without permit and are selling counterfeit goods. Some are at the heart of criminal activities. For example, SIT, illegally mining, and some are manufacturing SADF and police uniform. Honorable Speaker, the security of our country has been compromised. Immigration law are outdated and criminals have taken advantage of that. The ANC therefore call on every citizen to stand up, comment and support these proposed changes by Minister Motsoaledi. Under this security crisis, the voice of our citizens call for effective policy measures and legislative intervention dealing with immigration in South Africa. I thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Honorable Mashilo.
Well, thanks, Honorable Speaker. We equally welcomed the statement by Honorable Masia. Indeed, the Minister of Home Affairs is on duty today, since Dr. J.S. Moroka, precisely to make this information known to our people and the province at large. We must encourage our honorable members here to speak to their own members and their own political parties in support of this particular proposal as proposed by the bill, by the minister. We think it takes us forward as a country. South Africa, we're a democratic country, and we will indeed welcome everybody who comes to South Africa, as our Freedom Charter said. However, that must happen within the law of the country, and that amendment seeks to address some of the imbalances we found ourselves in. Thank you very much, Speaker.
Honorable Nkabela.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Greetings to all honorable members in the House. Honorable Speaker, I stand to raise a member statement from the Economic Freedom Fighters. Honorable Speaker, the MEC for Finance, Economic Development and Tourism, Honorable Hlophe, delivered her adjustment budget speech last week. Even though she has announced some increment for a number of departments, but sadly, this budget doesn't reflect the province's real changes. A number of departments were given more money, but we all know that this money will never go to the service delivery, but in the pockets of politicians and their select few friends. Honorable Speaker, we have raised this on many occasions, that this government is so out of touch with the real issues of our people and is not practical. To grow the economy and create employment opportunities, we need a government that will create firms, factories and industries. The former Kangwane and Kwandebele government used to develop factories in the townships, such as Kanyamazane and Kabokweni, where locals were provided with work. We need a proper job creation program to permanently solve the triple challenges of poverty, inequality, and unemployment. We have actually provided solutions on how to grow the economy, which is dying under this government. To grow the economy, we need to start from the beginning, and the beginning starts with access to land. The EFF was not insane when it called for the expropriation of land without compensation from the very beginning, because we knew and understood that for us to grow the economy, we must first have the land. Mpumalanga is very rich in agriculture, and with the land, we can get our people to use its agricultural processes and process any products. We also need to nationalize the mines, and this will guarantee more jobs, opportunities, and fewer retrenchments, as currently is the order of the day in most mines across the province. Honorable Speaker, as I conclude, we would like to call out the Honorable MEC Hlophe to monitor and track if the public money will be spent for what it is intended for, service delivery. I thank you.
Honorable Hlophe.
Siyathokoza Somlomo, sithokoze neshukumiso esilethwa umhlonishwa Mkhabela. Nangambala izimali zizoqalelelwa ukuthi ziberekiswa kanjani. Na njenganje zisaqalelelwa ukuthi ziberekiswa ngendlela ekungiyo. Kodwana ke ukuthi ziya emapokotweni wabasopolitiki awa leyo kulumo akusingiyo imamala imali nazikhutshwa ziya kuma department ama-department ayokwenza umbereko okungiwa the kulendlu azoyenza. So singalethi amala endlini ehloniphekile nangabe kuneyikulumo njengaleyo khona amazingo wamapholisa singayisa ikulumo njengalezo ukuze sikhone ukuthi zi-investigate ukuthi kube ne-solution. Ngalokho esingakuphikisa Speaker ukuthi kumele kube nokuqalelelwa ukuthi imali iberegiswa kanjani. Kunamahlelo akhona kubunje iyaqalelelwa ukuthi iberegiswa kanjani. Ingakho siya kuma oversights bahlonishwa nabo abahlonishwa bendlu besibethamthetho bayaya bayoqala umbereko ama department athazowenza kungoba imali suke ziphumile kwathiwa kuzokwenziwa ukuthi bengekhe kuyiwe esibhedlele kohlolwa ukuthi isibhedlele sikhamba kanjani or ama-clinic akhamba kanjani or inkolo kungenxa yokuthi imali ziphumile kwathiwa kuzokwenza umbereko nje. Nanjalo siyabonga Somlomo ngesishukumiso esiphakanyisiwe. Siyathokoza.
Honorable Grovier Makane.
Asiyi kuma oversight bathi akunamali. Asikhona ukubona lo msebenzi.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Greetings to the House at large. I rise on behalf of the Democratic Alliance to deliver a member statement. I recently conducted an oversight at an examination center that is being used by the Department of Education in Ward 10, Komazi. I was disappointed and hurt to find learners having to write their final examination under such inhumane circumstances. Being synonymous for warmer weather than the rest of the province and being in the grips of an extreme heat wave, these learners are being made to write the examination at Piva Community Hall, which does not have water for many years and also no functioning toilets. In addition to the above, there are broken windows, collapsed ceilings, and an illegal electricity connections with exposed cables that poses a serious hazard to the users of this community facility and as an examination center. In light to the above, I call to this August House to stop making use of Piva Community Hall as an examination center, as our learners deserve better, and to ensure that the maintenance and upgrade of this facility is done. I thank you.
Honorable Mashilo.
Thanks, Honorable Speaker. Well, it's regrettable for that situation. But since South Africa schools are run by the school governing body, we have done it so that the level of governance is at the level of community. Department as government, we issue what we call a paper budget, and each and every school by the end of the year, they must approve the budget, and that budget includes maintenance. After the department have built the school, not to build the school, to maintain. From where I'm seated at the school, I have visited, the parents have just met over a weekend to approve the budget and include maintenance. It is the responsibility of all of us seated as members of the House, probably to go to the area and the ward. We encourage the parents to do the right thing as the government want that. As for writing at the community areas and the heat wave, the past weeks in South Africa has been too hot. So probably it's not an everyday. Today is very cold. The area might be very happy, but that date might be not very good. But we accept that there must be maintenance at the school, Honorable Speaker. Thank you very much.
Are there any member statements, Honorable Weber?
Madam Speaker, may I use this opportunity to greet the members of the House? And Madam Speaker, I rise to deliver a member statement on behalf of the Freedom Front Plus. Madam Speaker, when I came here for the first time to this House as a new member, in my very first speech, I called upon our Premier to unite us in our diversity. Not only to unite us, but to unite us in our diversity. Pleasantly, surprisingly, the captain of our victorious Springbok team, Siya Kolisi, expressed exactly the same sentiments when he came back from winning the World Cup for us as South Africa. He advised our president to use the diversity in our country. He advised the president to use the diversity in our country. Initially, our Springbok teams especially, consisted of only white players. Then we had quota players. Now we have white players, we have black players, we have colored players. We do not have quota players anymore. And by so doing, we won the World Cup. When the selectors did not have enough strong Blue Bulls players, they included an ox into their team based on his merit. They took their team, that took their team to victory. We in this House, we came here as a divided force. I called upon you to unite us in our diversity. I have come to believe that we have succeeded in what our Premier and we have done. We disagree harshly, but we are a united force. White people have certain abilities, they have certain skills. Black people have certain abilities and certain skills, as do colored and Indian people. Let us use them. Let's unite as a strong team, and by so doing, we will become a winning nation, not only in Mpumalanga, but in South Africa. I thank you, Madam Speaker.
Honorable Mashilo.
Well, mnumzana ngukuthole kahle uduthini. Yesterday I came across to one friend, a white man, and he said to me, Mugabe, I don't agree with Mugabe, but what Mugabe said when he took over, he said, you white compatriots, you must assist. If you don't, you lose. And they took their farms. And he said, here in South Africa, you did not do that. When I look this side, I've seen that, so we are not united. And I realized that probably might be right. Our view as the ANC government was to say all of us in South Africa were equal before the law and we have appreciated it. The issue of unity is always there, we are diverse, and we have always practiced that as the ANC government. And for that, I think everybody must appreciate us. For the mere fact that there is a squad, we are all seated here and etc., it means we are united. We don't know what other unity we should do. There's politics and there's realities. Politics is different view of opinion and policies. We can't ask for unity. But when you go outside to do the work and talk about education and health, like we're introducing the health policy, that's why we require unity, because we believe all of us will stand to benefit. For that, we accept that we must be united. Thank you very much.
Executive statements. I am informed that there are no executive statements. Motions without notice. Are there any motion without notice? Honorable Mahlangu.
Thank you very much, Madam Speaker. I rise to move on a motion without notice on behalf of the African National Congress to appreciate the operation carried out by the Department of Community Safety, Security and Liaison, Community Policing Forums, Tabacho Municipal Law Enforcement, and security companies in tackling illegal mining in Sabi. The high-density operation saw the arrest of more than 18 suspects on various offenses and illegal mining equipment seized. Noting that during the operation, 5 detonators, 5 explosive gel, 28 maximum blasting cartridges, 1 reel of detonating cord, 1 generator, 9 pendugas, 7 gas bottles, 9 motors, 2 weighing scales, 15 backup batteries, 2 shovels, 1 mining torch, and 70 bags filled with dagga were seized. Further noting that the dangers of illegal mining, including effects on the environment such as formation of sinkholes, contamination of soil and groundwater, chemical leakages, and other which may hinder the productive and health of the local communities. We urge community members to desist from embarking on illegal mining and urge our people to report such activities to the authorities. It is against this background that I move on behalf of the African National Congress that this House appreciate the good work by the Department of Community Safety, Security and Liaison, Community Policing Forums, Tabacho Municipal Law Enforcement, and security companies in tackling illegal mining in Sabi. I so move.
The question before the House is whether we agree to adopt the motion. Agreed to?
Agreed.
As so agreed. Honorable Mlombo.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. I rise to move a motion without notice made in terms of Rule 83 to further the object of Rule 4. I, Fana Vincent Mlombo, the Chief Whip of the Majority Party, move a motion without notice that the House, number 1, that the House should note that the Portfolio Committee's report on the Mpumalanga Adjustment Appropriation Bill, Bill 3 of 2023, shall be tabled during today's sitting by the Portfolio Committee on Premier's Office, Finance, Economic Development and Tourism for consideration by this August House. Further note that Rule 192, Sub-Rule 2 of the Rules and Orders of the Legislature provides that the Speaker must allow for the committee's report to be tabled in the Legislature by some members from the relevant Portfolio Committee in accordance with the Speaker's list. I therefore, Honourable Speaker, move that the House adopts a resolution in terms of Rule 4, Sub-Rule 1, to suspend the provision of Rule 192, Sub-Rule 2, and that the report of the above-mentioned Portfolio Committee not be debated during today's sitting. Honourable Speaker, I so move.
The question before the House is whether we agree to adopt the motion. Agreed to?
Agreed.
As so agreed. Honorable Nyembe.
Ngibingelele umkhandlu. Ngibonge kubo bonke abangwishele uget well ngenkathi ngigula for the past 3 months. Ngibonga kakhulu. Madam Speaker, I rise on behalf of the economic freedom fighters to commend and applaud the EFF in the province led by Provincial Chairperson Komisa Kolend Sedibe for helping the Hlahane family get back their family home, in which they were forcefully evicted by a local businessman conniving with the Msugaluka municipality officials and some corrupt lawyers. This family is back to their forefathers' home where they belong, and it's all thanks to the EFF. I so move.
The question before the House is whether we agree to adopt the motion.
Agreed.
The question before the House is whether we agree to adopt the motion. Agreed to?
Agreed.
So agreed. Honorable Grobler.
Thank you, Honourable Speaker. I rise to deliver a motion without notice on behalf of the Democratic Alliance.
Ufuna basebathi no.
Honourable Speaker, we are firstly noting that the year 2023 has come to an end with very little to celebrate. Further noting, Honourable Speaker, that we, the members of this august House, has done little to fight corruption and to hold the executive to account. Further noting, Honourable Speaker, that written questions to the MECs stayed unanswered, even though the rules state that they need to be answered within 10 working days. Oral questions sessions were postponed to such an degree that the time the questions were finally answered, the questions were either outdated or the relevant MEC was not in the House. The same goes for the Honourable Premier. We closed 2023 with the same issues we had in 2020, 2021 and 2022. The Mkondo boarding school is still incomplete. The fresh produce market is still incomplete. The parliamentary village still incomplete. Middelburg and Mapulaneng hospitals still incomplete. And at least we mention the white elephants of the high altitude center and the cultural hub, which is also incomplete. We start the new academic year with less textbooks and less LTSMs than in 2022, with more potholes and more crime than in previous years. I therefore move that this House, Honourable Speaker, adopts that the members of the provincial legislature of Mpumalanga does better in 2024. That we commit ourselves to hold the executive to complete the outstanding infrastructure projects and to combat corruption by implementing lifestyle audits on all government officials, including ourselves, as per the Honourable Premier's pronouncement in 2020. I so move.
The question before the House is whether we agree to adopt the motion. Agreed to?
Yes.
The motion is defeated. Honourable Weber.
Madam Speaker, I rise on behalf of the Freedom Front Plus to deliver a motion without notice. I move on behalf of the Freedom Front Plus that
Honourable
this
Weber,
House...
can you please take your seats? There's a point of order.
Yeah.
Honourable Stolle.
Honourable Speaker, can you go back a little bit and ask again? We would like to see who is defeating that motion. We didn't hear the no. We want to hear it and see who. Thank you.
Honourable Member, it's on record that there was a no.
No,
and the motion is defeated.
No, Honourable Speaker, but
unless
but we made the motion. But you repeated it with them.
Yeah.
Why do you have a problem now? Just repeat it. We want to see who is defeating it. Please, just respect that, with all due respect.
Honourable Sithole, your point of order is not sustained. Honourable Weber, can you please proceed?
How, Honourable Speaker, do you really want to spoil this last sitting now?
Evan,
Do you really want to spoil this
just
last
like
sitting?
that, just for the.
Honourable Sithole, I did not
But Speaker, can
recognize
you repeat that thing, man?
I have ruled.
Repeat that thing, says to move, man.
Honourable Sithole, can you please take your
There's
seat?
nothing wrong with you repeating that thing. Repeat and we move. Just to repeat and then we say yes, no.
Honorable Sitole, can you please take a seat?
Marasen Sujela. Can we just repeat lift of governance? This thing is not a matter, man. Yes or no, and then we move. Can't you repeat? It's simple. Guide her.
Honorable members, can I?
Can't you repeat and we say yes and no? Simple, man. We don't need to go
Honorable
back and
members.
discuss this thing. Just repeat.
Honorable members, on our rules, point of order against the conduct of the presiding officer, Rule 47, subsection 2. The presiding officer decision regarding a point of order raised or interpretation of rule in the rules and orders is final. If you have an issue, honorable member, subsection apply. Any member who feels aggrieved by a decision or conduct of the presiding officer during proceedings of the legislature must direct his or her grievance to the presiding officer in writing as soon as reasonable, possibly, but not later than 3 working days after the relevant sitting. Honorable Weber, can you please proceed?
But this one,
You can't use that.
this one I phone ukubhalwa. This is simple. Why can't you say let's repeat? And
It doesn't work like
Why
that.
do you have to write?
Now you are using that rule against us.
The
You are
time that we
using
spent on
rule
reading that
to
thing
keep
should have
us
said,
quiet.
is the motion agreed to or not?
Why?
We should have
Is
said
it like
yes.
today you don't want us to receive Christmas presents? You want
To
us to
write
leave
after
now?
3 days.
Honorable,
You
honorable
want us to leave
members.
so that you don't give us Christmas presents.
For you to read
Eh,
that line,
that is
it
what
was
this
too
is
long.
about. We want,
Honorable Mkabela and
it doesn't work
Honorable
like that, Speaker. You can't use the
Honorable
rule against us.
Mkabela and Honorable
We have a
Sitole.
right to speak.
Can you please conduct yourself?
No. If I want message,
Honorable Mkabela and Honorable Sitole, can you please conduct yourself
Can you recognize us?
in an honorable way? Honorable Weber, can you please take your seat? Let me go back for the sake of peace in the House.
Thank you.
The question before the House is whether we agree to adopt the motion. Agree to.
You should have done that.
The motion is defeated, Honorable
What
Weber.
was so difficult?
Simple. Wanted that only.
You don't want to give us Christmas presents.
So for the social media, who disagrees?
Madam Speaker, I am a law-abiding member of this House and I accept your ruling. But if you ask me what I heard, I am of the opinion that the DA was correct.
Thank you.
That's only an observation, it's not nothing more than that.
Progressive.
Madam Speaker, I rise on behalf of the Freedom Front Plus to deliver a motion without notice. I move on behalf of the Freedom Front Plus that this House investigates the matter of a potential mine in Wakkerstroom that threatens a strategic water source. This will impact nearby communities, bird life, wildlife, and the ecosystem. There will be a devastating effect on biodiversity as this area falls within the Nkangala-Drakensberg strategic water source, one of 22 such areas across the country, which are collectively responsible for producing 50% of South Africa's fresh water. The area in question is in the buffer zone of the Mabola protected environment. Previous rezoning to agricultural land was faulty and did not take into consideration the strategic water source near the proposed mining area or the environmental impact of the mining. The proposed mine is said to cover 1,200 hectares underground and 22.4 hectares on the surface. This government has a duty to consider the environment in decision-making. There is no substitute for water, but there is a substitute for coal. I so move, Madam Speaker.
The question before the House is whether we agree to adopt the motion agreed to.
Agreed.
Is so agreed. Notices of motion, are there notices of motions? Formal motions, I am informed that there are no formal motions. Let us proceed to the orders of the day. The Secretary shall read the first order of the day.
Order number 1, consideration of a report of the Portfolio Committee on Premier's Office, Finance, Economic Development and Tourism on the Mpumalanga Adjustments Appropriation Bill, B3, 2023. Second reading, Mpumalanga Adjustments Appropriation Bill, B3, 2023.
I now call upon the Honorable T.S. Tomo, the Chairperson of the Portfolio Committee on Premier's Office, Finance, Economic Development and Tourism to table the report on the Mpumalanga Adjustment Appropriation Bill, B3 of 2023.
No, thank you very much, Speaker. Greetings to yourself and the House at large. Honorable Speaker, I rise to table the report on behalf of the entire committee. Thank you very much.
I shall now go vote by vote in compliance with Rule 192. Vote 1, Office of the Premier, Adjusted Budget 2023-2024. The budget of the Office of the Premier increases from 478,132 million to 498,132 million. Those who say yes, they must show by raising their hands. Thank you. Those who say no, they must show by raising their hands. Thank you. Vote 2, Provincial Legislature, Adjusted Budget 2023-2024. The budget of Provincial Legislature increases from 405,266,000 to 445,216 million. Those who say yes by show of hands. Thank you. Those who say no. Thank you. Vote 3, Provincial Treasury, Adjusted Budget 2023-2024. The budget of Provincial Treasury decreases from 590,712 million to 550,712 million. Those who say yes by show of hands. Thank you. Those who say no. Thank you. Vote 4. Cooperative Governance and Traditional Affairs, Adjusted Budget 2023-2024. The budget of Department of Cooperative Governance and Traditional Affairs increases from 806 million to 866,570 million. Those who say yes by show of hands. Thank you. Those who say no. Thank you. Vote 5. Agriculture, Rural Development, Land and Environmental Affairs, Adjusted Budget 2023-2024. The budget of the Department of Agriculture, Rural Development, Land and Environmental Affairs increases from 1.559036 billion to 1.66977 billion. Those who say yes, thank you. Those who say no, vote 6. Economic Development and Tourism, adjusted budget 2023-2024. The budget of the Department of Economic Development and Tourism increases from 1.470405 billion to 1.586879 billion. Those who say yes, by show of hands. Thank you. Those who say no, thank you. Vote 7. Education. Adjusted budget 2023-2024. The budget of the Department of Education increases from 24.920784 billion to 25.306556 billion. Those who say yes, thank you. Those who say no, thank you. Vote 8. Public Works, Roads and Transport. Adjusted budget 2023-2024. The budget of the Department of Public Works, Roads and Transport increases from 5.466783 billion to 5.556200 billion. Those who say yes, thank you. Those who say no, thank you. Vote 9. Community Safety, Security and Liaison, adjusted budget 2023-2024. The budget of the Department of Community Safety, Security and Liaison increases from 1.768339 billion to 1.778221 billion. Those who say yes, by show of hands. Thank you. Those who say no, by show of hands. Vote 10. Health. Adjusted budget 2023-2024. The budget of the Department of Health increases from 17.304936 billion to 17.84013 billion. Those who say yes, by show of hands. Thank you. Those who say no, by show of hands. Thank you. Vote 11. Culture, Sport and Recreation. Adjusted budget 2023-2024. The budget of the Department of Culture, Sport and Recreation decreases from 683 million to 609,249 million. Those who say yes, by show of hands. Thank you. Those who say no, by show of hands. Thank you. Vote 12. Social Development, adjusted budget 2023-2024. The budget of the Department of Social Development increases from 1.676308 billion to 1.705152 billion. Those who say yes, by show of hands. Thank you. Those who say no. Thank you. Vote 13. Human Settlements, adjusted budget 2023-2024. The budget of the Department of Human Settlement decreases from 1.648189 billion to 1.644833 billion. Those who say yes by show of hands. Thank you. Those who say no by show of hands. Thank you. Now the question before the House is whether we agree to approve this adjusted budget and the Mpumalanga Adjustments Appropriation Bill 2023, B3 of 2023. Furthermore, adopt the report of the Portfolio Committee on Premier's Office, Finance, Economic Development and Tourism on the Mpumalanga Adjustments Appropriation Bill, B3 of 2023, as tabled by Honorable Tomo, agreed to? As so agreed. The Secretary shall read the second order of the day.
Order number 2, third reading, short title, Mpumalanga Adjustments Appropriation Act 2023.
The Secretary shall read the third order of the day.
Order number 3, snap debate on World AIDS Day.
I have a speakers list in front of me. I will now call upon the Honorable GP Mashiko from the ANC, and you are given 4 minutes.
Honorable Speaker, honorable members and members of the Executive Council, on this occasion of the commemoration of World AIDS Day, I wish to summon the wisdom of Haile Selassie, who awoke us that, open quote, throughout history, it has been the inaction of those who could have acted, the indifference of those who should have known better, the silence of the voice of justice when it mattered most, that has made it possible for evil to triumph, close quote. Our fight against HIV has been waged working together with our people and with our non-governmental organizations who have put so much necessary pressure to respond to the scourge of HIV in our society. We continue to roll up our sleeves in the fight against the spread of HIV in our society. South Africa remains the leading nation in the rollout of antiretrovirals. We remain pace setters in the fight against HIV and in line with World Health Organizations, where we test and treat regardless of the CD4 count. HIV test has been integrated in the antenatal care of all pregnant women. Once we detect the virus, we immediately test it. Our efforts in the fight against HIV resulted in reduction to less than 0.2% of children born HIV. Our 90-90-90 strategy has saved a lot of lives and retained many HIV patients economically active. Honorable Speaker, as we commemorate these days, we must up our efforts to deal with defaulters, especially men and children. This is something we have to accelerate our efforts to address. Our government and the people refuse to be classified as those who did not act when they should have acted by introducing central chronic disease dispensation to ensure that, amongst others, HIV patients receive their medication at their nearest convenience. More than 100,000 patients are beneficiaries of this program. Our government and people refuse to be classified as those who have been indifferent while they should have known better. In that spirit, we have ward-based outreach teams to assist, track patients, and assist those who cannot reach facilities. Hence the decline in defaulters, especially among
Honorable Member.
women and elderly. We make our voice count that Vuso, sugar daddies, blazers are counter elements in our fight against HIV. We must deepen our voice so that we avoid the notion that the silence of the voice of justice when it matters most, that has made it possible for evil to triumph. Our commemoration is equally celebratory because the progress we've made in the fight against HIV, including rollout of female condoms, retaining over 500 lines on art, while testing and treating at the same time. We commemorate with celebratory because drawing from Thabo Mbeki's wisdom, steadily,
Your time is up.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
I will now call upon the Honorable NP Mkabela from the EFF, and you're given 4 minutes.
Speaker, can I correct this? We have sent the name of Honorable N.G. Nyembe to be the one who's going to debate. Speaker, I just want to correct, we have sent the name of N.G. Nyembe to be the one who's going to debate for World AIDS Day. So we are surprised now when you see NP Mkabela on the list. Can it be corrected? And she is the one who's given the responsibility to debate. Thank you.
Sorry for that. I think the Office of the Chief Whip will correct that in future. Honorable Nyembe.
Honorable Speaker and honorable members, allow me to send our revolutionary salutation to the Commander-in-Chief and the People's President, the leader of the mighty economic freedom fighters, CIC Julius Malema. Allow me, Somlomo, to equally recognize the leader of the official opposition in this August House and the chairperson of the EFF, Honorable Colin Sidibe. Honorable Speaker, this year marks exactly 41 years since the first case of HIV and AIDS in South Africa was reported in 1982. It is also 38 years since the first death from this killer virus in the country occurred in 1985. Since then, Honorable Speaker, the country has gone to lose over 1 million lives to this virus. And let me hasten and point out that deaths were as a result of an ignorant, stubborn, and arrogant government system. Honorable Speaker, the less said about former President Thabo Mbeki's stance towards this virus during his tenure, the better, because it just opens up old wounds and ugly sins of mass graves. Who cannot forget Nkosi Johnson, of the first children to succumb to this virus? Honorable Speaker, at this point, kindly allow me to pay tribute to each and every victim of HIV and AIDS. To these fallen citizens, we say your struggle against this deadly virus has not been in vain, as it opens our eyes and minds. Madam Speaker, this country is home of the largest HIV opposite population in the world, with over 7.2 million people infected. According to statistics, this province has recorded the fourth highest HIV prevalence in the country, with over 759,726 people living with HIV/AIDS. On this number, around 717,080 people know their status. Honorable Speaker, these are shocking numbers indeed, and we may sit here all day long and debate about this topic, but the sad reality is that it will all be just another debate, another talk show. In all honesty, Mr. Speaker, if the first case of HIV was detected in 1982, and yet this virus is the #1 killer disease in the country, then it means that the government of the day has dismally failed to take this courage. Honorable Speaker, if we are to wage a winnable battle against this virus, we need a new game plan. We need new strategies, But above all, we need a new government that will do not lip service, but tackle this virus head on. Honourable Speaker, the reason why I'm saying that we need a new government, we will be practical to its approach.
Conclude, Honourable Member.
It's because this current government is so out of touch with the citizens. This government wants to tackle and solve our African challenges and their problems the Western way. We need a government who will understand African problems, need African solutions. That is why, Madam Speaker, we are seated with government that prefers to make condoms easily accessible and for free, yet the same government can provide sanitary tablets for the poor girl child. Honourable Speaker, when the world was hit by COVID-19, the most deployed Western countries said Africa is going to perish. But to the astonishment, Africa, especially South Africa, stood strong because Africans have resorted African solution to fight the COVID-19 virus. In short, Madam Speaker, if we're really serious about winning this battle, we need to first understand the current social challenges facing our people.
Honourable Member.
Thank you.
Honourable Lachman Rain from the ANC, and you're given 4 minutes.
Greetings, Honourable Speaker. Greetings, Honourable Members. It is an honour for me to be tasked by the African National Congress to partake in this important debate on World AIDS Day. The theme for 2023 is Let Communities Lead. It's self-explanatory, hence government encourages communities and traditional leaders to be at the forefront during awareness campaigns. We have therefore entrusted communities with the responsibility of monitoring the implementation of policies, programs, and hold providers accountable. South Africa has been relentless in its mission to turn HIV, AIDS, and TB epidemics around, and there are many achievements to celebrate. There have been many scientific advancements in understanding the virus. More than 4.7 million people in the country are receiving treatment, which is free in South Africa. Latest statistics indicate a positive outlook or great reduction in mortality rates. This is because risk of new infections has decreased due to the use of HIV prevention methods such as male circumcision, condom usage, PrEP and PEP, which are antiretroviral drugs that prevents HIV and stops the spread of HIV from the body after exposure. Despite progress, stigma and discrimination continue to be significant barriers to HIV prevention, testing, and treatment. People with HIV and AIDS face social, employment, and gender-based stigma. They experience a sense of isolation, shame, and guilt, and are often discriminated against in the workplace. Former President Nelson Mandela said, "Many people are suffering from AIDS are not killed by the disease itself, but they are killed by the stigma surrounding them every time they have to face the public." South Africa has a large youth population, and youth engagements in HIV/AIDS prevention and treatment efforts are critical. We must explore strategies to effectively engage young people in comprehensive sex education, access to treatment and testing, and the promotion of safe sexual practices. In exploring strategies, let us not neglect to include intersectionality and address the specific needs of vulnerable populations, such as women, LGBTQI+ individuals, sex workers, and people living in poverty. On this day, we remember the young and old, especially the poor and vulnerable, who have lost the battle against AIDS. Their bravery and resilience in their battle inspires us, the ANC-led government, to invest more resources on health, especially in winning the fight against AIDS. As I conclude, Honourable Speaker, the ANC-led government has committed itself to invest more resources in the fight against HIV/AIDS and other related diseases. Latest indicators clearly show that we are slowly winning the battle against AIDS. These positive results are because of an ANC-led government that is willing and able. I thank you.
Honourable Sithole from the Democratic Alliance, and you're given 3 minutes.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker, and greetings to the House once more. Every year we commemorate this day as World AIDS Day, and I would like us to take a moment to remember all those who have lost their lives in this pandemic, in our province, in the country, and in the world. This day provides us with an opportunity to reflect on the progress made to date, to raise awareness about the challenges that remain to achieve the goals of ending AIDS by 2030, and to mobilize the stakeholders to jointly redouble efforts to ensure the success of the HIV/AIDS response. Although this government has made some strides in reducing the HIV prevalence since 2017, we still have the highest HIV prevalence in the country at 20.8%, being second to KwaZulu-Natal and significantly higher than the national average. So as a province, we still have a long way to go as we are leading in this pandemic. Honorable Speaker, as a province, we need a strategy which will focus on preventing and containing the spread of this virus. A report by Richiza titled Mpumalanga State of Health as at June 2023, reiterated the fact that although the majority of people with HIV know their status, there is inadequacies in ensuring that all of them are receiving antiretrovirals. This report noted that whilst 94% of people living with HIV know their status, only 82% are on ARVs, which means many are not on medication. Honorable Speaker, if we are serious about containing the spread of HIV, the province needs a strategy that targets those who do not wish to take treatment from lack of knowledge and from lack of understanding. We also need to make it easier for patients to access their treatments. Honorable Speaker, it has been proven that people can live long and healthy lives if they stick to their treatment. Education and information are tantamount in our fight against the virus. Honorable Speaker, in conclusion, prevention and treatment are key to living a healthy life. We need to make post-exposure prophylaxis treatments available, and we need to make treatment available and accessible to those who are living with HIV/AIDS. Government should enable communities and support them in taking the lead in combating the spread of HIV/AIDS. We can end AIDS with communities leading the way. I thank you.
Honorable Weber from the Freedom Front Plus, and you're given a minute.
Madam Speaker, prevention is better than cure. A few centuries ago in Europe, there was a scourge, the syphilis scourge, which was about to wipe out the whole community in Europe. And they took harsh measures to fight this scourge. When a young man was visiting a girl, they tied the young man to the chair, one chair, and they tied the young girl to another chair. That was what they did to prevent it. Now, Madam Speaker, if we want to fight the scourge of AIDS in South Africa, we will have to take similar drastic measures to prevent it. There's no use to try and cure it afterwards. You won't prevent it. Now, Madam Speaker, you know, I must share this with you. At a number of occasions, I think it's 2 or 3 times, I was presented with a gift in this house, a condom. And the condom had a banana flavor. And I want to inform this House, I don't use banana flavors. I prefer strawberry flavor. And you will bear the consequences of your fault in this House. I thank you.
I will now call upon the Honorable Njali from the NC, and you're given 4 minutes.
Strawberry flavor. Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. I'll stick to the protocol that has been observed to save my time. Honorable Speaker, today as this House, we join the world in commemorating the World AIDS Day under the theme, Let Communities Lead, giving an opportunity to every community to unite against HIV and AIDS. This theme, it depends how we engage and how we move together different sectors in fighting against HIV and AIDS. Honorable Speaker, the 1st of December
being the World AIDS Day, is a stark reminder that South Africa makes progress on HIV and AIDS, and a decrease of 14% in 2017 and further decrease of 12.7% in 2022. It's a step in the right direction, and that we need robust intervention to combat this. We must indicate, Honorable Speaker, that as we take stock, we must confirm that the path to ending AIDS runs through communities, from connecting people to treatment, services, support they need from the grassroots, pushing it and making sure that together with Department of Health and Social Services, we provide the necessary support. Madam Speaker, our communities and especially youth that never uses protection should use post-exposure prophylaxis that our government is availing for them in all our health facilities such as Delvegre. That is a PEP that is used to suppress and making sure that your HIV is suppressed. It helps it helps to control HIV infection, decrease the HIV in your body, and make your immune system work better. It lowers the chance of getting HIV and suppresses the viral load. Honorable Speaker, we must continue encouraging our communities towards retention in care or remain in care, visiting our clinics twice during the calendar year, 2 to 6 months, and making sure that they remain within the encompassing visits to the clinic, as well as adhering to the drug regimens and other clinical lifestyle change. Madam Speaker, we must make sure that our citizens, they know that they cannot default on medication, but they use our new guidelines in multi-script so that you can visit our clinics 4 times a year to collect your medication in accredited pharmacies to keep your ART interruption. Madam Speaker, we must indicate that our pregnant women must attend antenatal care and get tested, and make sure that also their partners are tested to avoid your PCR results being positive, and also further demanding the results to lower the 1% in terms of positive testing, and making sure that we reduce the transmission to mother to child transmission. Madam Speaker, health experts said they are concerned, and also as government, we are concerned that the HIV prevalence is in twofold among females between the ages of 15 to 19 and also to the age of 20 to 24. That is corroborated by UNAIDS findings in the sub-Saharan that it has increased to 77%. That these 15 to 24 are girls and women, and they are troubling. What is troubling is that they go with men. So lento yokuthi abantu abadala balala nabantwana abancane, it's a matter that we should look into. Madam Speaker, as a Department of Social Development, we've got to Form 22 that emanates from Section 110 of the Children's Act of 38 that regulates our reporting in terms of those kids that are infected or affected or pregnant, so that we report them to the Department of Social Development, Designated Child Protection, or police. We are calling on all Mpumalanga to do so, because teenage pregnancy and the prevalence of HIV between the 15 and 24 is too high in our province. We must indicate, Honorable Speaker.
Your time is up.
Thank you very much.
That concludes the debate on World AIDS Day. The Secretary shall read the fourth order of the day.
Order number 4, consideration of reports of the Select Committee on Legislature Oversight. 4.1, second quarterly performance report for the 2023-2024 financial year, Mpumalanga Provincial Legislature. 4.2, annual performance report for 2022-23 financial year, Mpumalanga Provincial Legislature.
I now call upon the Honorable F.M. Lombo, the Chairperson of the Select Committee on Legislature Oversight, to table the reports.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. On behalf of the Select Committee, I hereby present the 2 reports as tabled for consideration by the House. Thank you.
I am informed that there is no debate on these reports. Now, the question before the House is whether we agree to adopt these reports as tabled by Honorable Mlombo. Agreed to? As so agreed. The Secretary shall read the 5th order of the day.
Order number 5, consideration of reports of the Portfolio Committee on Premier's Office, Finance, Economic Development and Tourism. 5.1, Annual Performance Report for 2022-23 financial year, Department of Economic Development and Tourism. 5.2, Second Quarterly Performance Report for 2023-24 financial year, Department of Economic Development and Tourism. 5.3, Annual Performance Report for 2022-23 financial year, Mpumalanga Economic Growth Agency. 5.4, Second Quarterly Performance Report for 23-24 financial year, Mpumalanga Economic Growth Agency. 5.5, Annual Performance Report for 22-23 financial year, Provincial Treasury. 5.6, Second Quarterly Performance Report for 23-24 financial year, Provincial Treasury. 5.7, Annual Performance Report for 22-23 financial year, Mpumalanga Tourism and Parks Agency. 5.8, Second Quarterly Performance Report for 23-24 financial year, Mpumalanga Tourism and Parks Agency. 5.9, Annual Performance Report for 22-23 financial year, Office of the Premier. 5.10, Second Quarterly Performance Report for 23-24 financial year, Office of the Premier. 5.11, Annual Performance Report for 22-23 financial year, Mpumalanga Economic Regulator. 5.12, Second Quarterly Performance Report for 23-24 financial year, Mpumalanga Economic Regulator. 5.13, Oversight Visit conducted at Wackerstrom Wetlands at Dr. Pictica Isakaseme Local Municipality on the 12th of October 2023, Mpumalanga Tourism Parks Agency. 5.14, Division of Revenue Amendment Bill B33 2023.
I now call upon the Honorable T.S. Tomo, the Chairperson of the Portfolio Committee on Premier's Office, Finance, Economic Development and Tourism, to table the reports.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. I rise on behalf of the Portfolio Committee to table all the reports in their sequential order before this House for consideration and adoption. Thank you very much.
I am informed that there is no debate on these reports. Now the question before the House is whether we agree to adopt these reports as tabled by Honorable Tobo. Agreed to? As so agreed. The Secretary shall read the sixth order of the day.
Order number 6, consideration of reports of the Portfolio Committee on Human Settlements, Cooperative Governance and Traditional Affairs. 6.1, Annual Performance Report for 2022-23 financial year, Department of Cooperative Governance and Traditional Affairs. 6.2, Second Quarterly Performance Report for 23-24 financial year, Department of Cooperative Governance and Traditional Affairs. 6.3, Annual Performance Report for 22-23 financial year, Department of Human Settlements. 6.4, Second Quarterly Performance Report for 23-24 financial year, Department of Human Settlement. 6.5, Section 47, Consolidation, Annual Municipal Performance Report for 21-22 financial year, Department of Cooperative Governance and Traditional Affairs.
We have received an apology from Honorable Shongwe, and Honorable Mlombo will table the reports on behalf of the Portfolio Committee.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. I rise to table the report as presented for consideration by the House.
I am informed that there is no debate on these reports. Now the question before the House is whether we agree to adopt the reports as tabled by Honorable Mlombo. Agreed to? As so agreed. The Secretary shall read the seventh order of the day.
Order number 7, consideration of reports of the Portfolio Committee on Public Works, Roads and Transport, Community Safety, Security and Liaison. 7.1, Annual Performance Report for 22-23 financial year, Department of Public Works, Roads and Transport. 7.2, Second Quarterly Performance Report for 23-24 financial year, Department of Public Works, Roads and Transport. 7.3, Annual Performance Report for 22-23 financial year, Department of Community Safety, Security and Liaison. 7.4, Second Quarterly Performance Report for 23-24 financial year, Department of Community Safety, Security and Liaison. 7.5, National Land Transport Amendment Bill B7F 2016. 7.6, National Road Traffic Amendment Bill B7D 2020.
I now call upon the chairperson of the Portfolio Committee on Public Works, Roads and Transport, Community Safety, Security, and Liaison, Honorable N. Mahlangu, to table the reports.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. On behalf of the Portfolio Committee, I rise to request the House to adopt the report as presented.
I am informed that there is no debate on these reports. Now the question before the House is whether we agree to adopt the reports as tabled by Honorable Mahlangu. Agreed to? As so agreed. The Secretary shall read the 8th order of the day.
Order number 8, consideration of reports of the Portfolio Committee on Agriculture, Rural Development, Land and Environmental Affairs. 8.1, Annual Performance Report for 22-23 financial year, Department of Agriculture, Rural Development, Land and Environmental Affairs. 8.2, Second Quarterly Performance Report for 23-24 financial year, Department of Agriculture, Rural Development, Land and Environmental Affairs.
I now call upon the Honorable KJ Masie, the chairperson of the Portfolio Committee on Agriculture, Rural Development, Land and Environmental Affairs, to table the reports.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I rise on behalf of the Portfolio Committee to request the House to accept the report as presented. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
I am informed that there is no debate on these reports. Now the question before the House is whether we agree to adopt these reports as tabled by Honorable Masie. Agreed to? As so agreed. The Secretary shall read the 9th order of the day.
Order number 9, consideration of reports of the Portfolio Committee on Health and Social Development. 9.1, Annual Performance Report for 22-23 financial year, Department of Health. 9.2, Second Quarterly Performance Report for 23-24 financial year, Department of Health. 9.3, Annual Performance Report for 22-23 financial year, Department of Social Development. 9.4, Second Quarterly Performance Report for 23-24 financial year, Department of Social Development.
We have received an apology from Honorable P.S. Ngomane, and Honorable Mahlangu will table the reports on behalf of the Portfolio Committee.
Ngiyabonga Somlomo uhloniphekile ngisukuma nokucela indlu ngokuba yamukele lo mbiko njengoba uthuliwe.
I am informed that there is no debate on these reports. Now the question before the House is whether we agree to adopt these reports as tabled by Honorable Mahlangu. Agreed to? As so agreed. The Secretary shall read the 10th order of the day.
Order number 10, consideration of reports of the Portfolio Committee on Education, Culture, Sports and Recreation. 10.1, Annual Performance Report for 22-23 financial year, Department of Education. 10.2, Second Quarterly Performance Report for 23-24 financial year, Department of Education. 10.3, Annual Performance Report for 22-23 financial year, Mpumalanga Regional Training Trust. 10.4, Second Quarterly Performance Report for 23-24 financial year, Mpumalanga Regional Training Trust. 10.5, Annual Performance Report for 22-23 financial year, Department of Culture, Sports and Recreation. 10.6, Second Quarterly Performance Report for 23-24 financial year, Department of Culture, Sports and Recreation. 10.7, Oversight Visit conducted at Lowveld High School and Manzini Primary School at Mbombela, Ehlanzeni District on the 13th of September and 13th of October 2023. 10.8, report on a meeting held with the language structures of PANSLAB in Mpumalanga Province on the 16th of November 2023.
I now call upon the chairperson of the Portfolio Committee on Education, Culture, Sport and Recreation, Honorable G.P. Mashego, to table the reports.
Honorable Speaker, I rise on behalf of the Portfolio Committee to request the August House to consider and accept the report.
I am informed that there is no debate on these reports. Now, the question before the House is whether we agree to adopt the reports as tabled by Honorable Mashego. Agreed to? As so agreed. The Secretary shall read the 11th order of the day.
Order number 11, consideration of a report of the Select Committee on Public Accounts on the condonation request of unauthorized expenditure by the Department of Agriculture, Rural Development, Land and Environmental Affairs for financial periods 2008-9 and 2015-16 financial year.
I now call upon the Honorable P.V. Mkachwa, the Chairperson of the Select Committee on Public Accounts, to table the report.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I rise to table the report for consideration by the House. Thank you.
I am informed that there is no debate on this report. Now, the question before the House is whether we agree to adopt this report as tabled by Honorable Mkachwa. Agreed to? As so agreed. The Secretary shall read the 12th order of the day.
Order number 12, ratification of mandates.
I now call upon the Honorable F.V. Mlombo, the Chief Whip of the Majority Party, to table the mandates.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. In terms of Section 65 of the Constitution of the Republic of South Africa, provincial legislatures are required to confer authority on their delegates in the National Council of Provinces to vote on their behalf. I, Fana Vincent Mlombo, the Chief Whip of the Majority Party in the Mpumalanga Provincial Legislature, hereby move in accordance with Section 65 of the Constitution, read with Rule 201, Sub-Rule 7 of our Rules and Orders, that the House ratifies and confirm the final mandate to vote in favor of the following bills. The National Road Traffic Amendment Bill, which is Bill 7D of 2020, which was conferred on behalf of the Mpumalanga Provincial Legislature by the Speaker on the 28th of November 2023, pursuant to the recommendation of the Portfolio Committee on Public Works, Roads, Transport, Community Safety, Security and License. The second is National Land Transport Amendment Bill, which is Bill 7F of 2016, which was conferred on behalf of the Mpumalanga Provincial Legislature by the Speaker on the 28th of November 2023, pursuant to the recommendation of the Portfolio Committee on Public Works, Roads and Transport, Community Safety, Security and License. And the Division of Revenue Amendment Bill, which is Bill 33 of 2023, which was conferred on behalf of the Mpumalanga Provincial Legislature by the Speaker on the 28th of November 2023, pursuant to the recommendation of the Portfolio Committee on Premier's Office, Finance, Economic Development and Tourism. Honorable Speaker, I so move.
Now, the question before the House is whether we agree to adopt the mandates as tabled by Honorable Mlombo. Agreed to? As so agreed. The Secretary shall read the 13th order of the day.
Order number 13, farewell messages by political parties.
I have a speakers list in front of me. I will now call upon the Honorable Weber from the Freedom Front Plus, and you are given 5 minutes.
Madam Speaker, because of certain issues that I have, I'm not able to deliver a speech and I would like to abstain.
I will now call upon the Honorable Sitole from the DA, and you are given 5 minutes.
Thank you. It's working. Thank you so much. Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, as the year comes to a close, we'd like to take a moment to reflect on the past year and express our gratitude to each and every one of you. This year has been filled with challenges and triumphs, and we are grateful for the teamwork and support that has brought us all through. I would like to thank our legislature staff for your commitment in building a people-centered African world-class legislature. The success of our oversights, public hearings, taking legislature to the people, meetings, and all community and stakeholder engagements would not have been possible without your hard work. To our Democratic Alliance legislature staff, Ashley, Dean, Signy, Gift, and Samgelo, I want you to know how grateful we are for your tireless effort and commitment to our cause. We wouldn't be able to do what we do without you. Thank you for going above and beyond. You are the wind beneath our wings. Honorable Speaker, allow me to express my sincere gratitude to my two colleagues, Honorable Khrola and Honorable Khrubiya Morgan. Your hard work and dedication has not gone unnoticed. Thank you for putting in extra hours, for holding the executive to account. Thank you for representing our DA constituency and for the support you have given me over the years. If I were to choose an army to go to war with, I will choose you all over again. I'm honored to be part of your team. I want to wish all members a happy and healthy holiday season. Take this time to rest, recharge, and spend time with your loved ones and come back energized. I wish you all a wonderful holiday season. I thank you.
I will now call upon the Honorable NP Mkabela from the EFF, and you're given 5 minutes.
Honorable Speaker, it only feels like yesterday when we stood here and said our goodbyes 12 months ago. I guess this is what they mean when they say time flies. Honorable Speaker, as we say our goodbyes again this year, allow me to touch a bit on the subject of time, especially in the lives of us politicians and leaders of society. This is one of the most valuable and priceless commodities in this universe. It is therefore vitally important that we utilize the little time we get after going on recess for ourselves and our loved ones. Equally, we must also use the time for the good of other people around us, especially the less privileged in our communities. This will surely help us and the society to grow towards a superior tomorrow. Because after all, we are politicians and leaders because we dream of a much better future for our children and the next generation to come. Honorable Speaker, most people do not realize how valuable time is until they lose it. Besides, there are so many people in the world who prioritize money over time. This is because, according to many of us, time is nothing, but they don't realize the fact that the time provides them the opportunity and chance to get the money. Apart from this, time has given us wealth and happiness. Moreover, on the contrary, time also gives us sorrow and unhappiness. In ancient times, many kings proclaimed that they were the rulers of their age, but they usually forget that they had time in a limited amount. The time is the only thing in this universe that is limitless and can go up to infinity. Time can either make you a king or a beggar in just a span of seconds. Honorable Speaker, as I conclude, as we live here today, let us do so knowing that the people out there have given us this time to represent and serve them. Let us therefore use this time wisely and stop fighting and pointing fingers at each other as politicians and leaders, but rather serve our people. Let's keep in mind that the time that passes away never returns. Time is priceless. No one can buy it. It is the only thing that can make anyone zero and anyone hero in just a moment. We say goodbye today and leave here not because we have to stop, but because we have to start again next year and make this time count for our people. Always keep in mind, honorable members, that we are not enemies, but political opponents with different ideas and ideologies, and we all want what's best for our people. Honorable Speaker, let me take again this moment to thank our officials in the legislature, all of them, for treating us with so much respect. We really appreciate you. We wish you well and Happy New Year, and see you again next year. Thank you so much.
Honorable Mlombo from the ANC, and you're given 5 minutes.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker, and thank you very much to all of us who are in this House. Honorable Speaker, it is true that we have again come to the end of the year, and in this instance, the end of 2023. Today is the last day in this year that we will be together. Unfortunately, Honorable Speaker, this year, 2023, is the year in which we have lost one of our own, Honorable B. Lubisi, from the ANC desk, a young member of the provincial legislature, a young member who was full of life, who was full of determination, a loyal, hard-working servant of the people. May his revolutionary soul rest in eternal peace. As we begin 2024, Honorable Speaker, let us commit as honorable members, irrespective of our ideological differences, irrespective of our political affiliation, that we will work hard and endeavor to transform the lives of the people to be better, to increase service delivery to the people of Mpumalanga, to radicalize the construction of infrastructure which our people so dearly need, and to create the necessary jobs that would make the lives of the people of Mpumalanga to be better. To my colleagues from the opposition desk, I want to take this opportunity as the Chief Whip of the majority party in the provincial legislature to thank you for your collaboration, your cooperation, and for us working together to change the lives of the people. I agree with Honorable Mkabela that we are not enemies. We are members of the provincial legislature whom all of us, our aim is to ensure that we deliver services to the people. There is no way that any one of us here from the desk of the ANC can just pass by when anyone amongst the opposition desk is being robbed or is being victimized, because we are in fact brothers and sisters. All the best to all of you. Go home, enjoy a happy Christmas. Go home and enjoy a very successful 2024. Next year will be election year. All of us will be fighting to come back. And my best wishes to the staff at the legislature and all our support staff. May they have a happy Christmas and a successful 2024. Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker.
That concludes the farewell messages, and that also brings us to the end of today's business. You are requested to remain standing at your places until the procession has left the chamber and the House is prorogued.
All right.